In Asia, there's many types of fresh rolls available, but there's one which is very distinct to Thailand, that is summer roll. It might not be as common as the Vietnamese type spring roll, which feature a lot of fresh vegetables. But this type of summer roll is a meal to a certain point by itself. And let's look at the hearty ingredients available here. But before we go on to make this one particular dish, let's take a look at the finished product, and we'll come back and take a look at each of the ingredients. If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of... Now, the most unique part of the summer roll is the wrapping. Now, you have to select the wrapping from your fresh market near you. Now, the good ones should be really, really thin. And the newer you get it, the more tensile you would get from peeling. What we're made of, when we are called to help our friends in need. It should be soft and very, very thin. Like 1, 2, 3, I'll be. When you're working with wrappings such as this, it's also important to keep them away from wind and open air. So it's probably a good idea to have them kept in a plastic bag like so, or a very thin parchment or cheesecloth to cover it. Okay. Now, let's lay them on the cutting board right here. Let's take a look at the other ingredients. Now, starting with the Chinese sausage right here. Chinese sausage is another important ingredient. Pick the ones that are a bit, simply put, a bit pricey. Those ones, you get a very nice flavor from it. It doesn't have that much fat, and also the color is nice, and it kept very well. What you have to do with it is that the whole Chinese sausage, grill them on a low flame for about 3 minutes, and then after you got the rims caramelized, then you can chop them in half and cut them into strips such as this. Okay. Now, imitation crab, it gives both the color and also a nice addition flavor to it. Also the egg. This is a mixture of two types of egg. One is duck egg, and the other is the chicken egg. In this recipe, let's say of 10 egg, we are using 4 of the duck egg and 6 of the chicken egg. Beat them together nicely with a little addition of water to help soften it, and then add a bit of sea salt into it. It has to be sea salt because it doesn't have that sharp saltiness to it as versus to the regular table salt that we're using. Okay, sausage. Now this depends on some recipe call for other types of meats, some calls for boiled pork. Sausage is pretty good idea. The only thing you need to consider when selecting the sausage is that it has to be smooth and silky to the touch, and shouldn't have too much of the sausage pork flavor on it because it would overpower the rest of the ingredients. Now, moving on to the next, the tofu, which is braised slowly in 5-spice broth. Now, it is a regular yellow tofu you would see in the market. Cut them up into strips like so. Sear them a little bit in a Chinese wok just to get this this rim nice and has that pull of a texture to it, and then boil them slowly in the mixture of 5-spice broth. A bit salty, a bit sweet, and it turned out great, as you would see here. Now, also the cucumbers. Cucumbers, soak them in water first and then cut them into 4s, and it will result in a piece like this. Now, some of you, I understand that the seed in here is a bit too watery for some taste, so it's a pretty good idea to slice them off first, and what you're left with is the fresh and crispy feeling you would get from cucumbers. Now, let's wrap them together. It should be very simple. Now, Asian crab. The good ones you can pull strings out like so.
Can't count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends
Now moving on to the last, bean sprouts, which is blanched very, very quickly. The minute you throw them in, count to 5 and then strain them out right away, okay? And this is the sprout that we have right here.
2, 3, I'll be there. And
One last trick in making this type of roll is that while you are rolling the summer roll, you have to use your fingers a little bit tight to tuck them in so the rolls are tight, and it will be easier to cut that way and also easier to eat.
if you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever
Now moving on to plating. Another best thing about this type of summer roll is that there is sauce which would completely cover all these rolls, and it is in a Szechuan style, which feature chili, flakes of chili pepper, and also shiitake, okay? And the taste itself is kind of sweet and salty and just a bit of on the sour side, which comes from fresh tamarind that we use.
count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. You'll always have my shoulder when you cry. I'll never let go, never say goodbye.
And let's add a bit of pickled chilies and 2 sprigs of onion, or 1 depending. And that's it, that's a whole meal by itself. And it tastes
Need
good.
it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.